cupcake in the Pub Sports Radio Top 25 Countdown is the apple caramel cheesecake cupcake. It's a delicious cupcake. It's a rich cupcake. It's even borderline bougie cupcake. And when you talk about bougie cupcakes, you don't think about Bowling Green University's men's basketball program, but you should. You will. All right. Well, I'll tell you, Mike Huger has got this Bowling Green team on the way back up, trajectory upwards. And I would even call this team and call this year team redemption year. So Bowling Green definitely had a lot of high expectations last year with Justin Turner returning for his senior year and foregoing the NBA. And let's just be brutally honest. The odds makers were laughing. They were serving the cock soup, and they did not meet any of those expectations ATS wise. I think this year we have a Bowling Green team that is going to fly a little more under the radar and has brought in the necessary depth and frontline scoring pieces to try and dominate the MAC. And at the very least, make us a shit ton of money. So with this Bowling Green team, I think that we're going to see a team that really has to shore up two areas. They need to get some better point guard play, and they need to get some better rim protection. I think that when you look at this group, they have addressed those areas. On the screen, you see Myron Gordon, you see Samari Curtis, you see Brenton Mills. All these guys can shoot from deep, they can handle the ball, and they've been star scoring pieces at their previous stops. I think that with Samari Curtis, he has the most ability to develop above my season projection for him. But I do think Myron Gordon and Brenton Mills could be the more solid, reliable backcourt pieces for this Bowling Green Falcon team to go along with a guy like Caden Matheny, who definitely is a sophomore to look out for with this Bowling Green team. They are going to play a lot of small ball lineups because they have a ton of guard depth. And that means that you may see Joe Reese, the ODU transfer, on the floor with Daquan Plowden at the same time. Well, they don't bring the height, but they bring the ferocity, they bring the aggressiveness, and they bring that low post, high percentage scoring that you're always looking for when you have a lot of guard play. This is going to be a team that shoots well from deep, and they're going to be able to break people off the dribble. I look for them to be a team to bet on. Yes, last year they were not good ATS, but a lot of trends tend to revert, and I think that this is going to be a team that reverts back to being profitable ATS for us. There's going to be a lot more questions for the defense and the opponent's game plan to come up with before they start seeing some of this team on film. I look for the reversal of fortune because of that. So I'm going to be looking to attack them in the non-conference and at home in conference. When we talk about players to watch, I've already mentioned his name, and that's Daquan Plowden. This is a guy that I expect to take a step forward. I'm projecting him to average 17.4 points per game and 9.2 rebounds. If you watch Bowling Green basketball, which I definitely suggest that you do, you've seen this guy score off the dribble drive, break down small and big fours down in the low post and score on them. And with his offensive and defensive rebounding skills, that's just standoutish. This is a guy that can guard a 2, he can guard a 5. So very versatile, very athletic, and it's going to show even more so this year with him being the number 1 scoring option. The game that I want to attack is a game that we should be attacking and looking for a number that is less than 20.5. And that's going to be November 28th against Chicago State. Bowling Green is going to dominate that team. The guard play, the 3-point shooting, I look for that to be on prime display. And if we can get a number less than 20.5, we're going to jump on that full game. So get your apple, caramel, cheesecake, cupcake in you, and let's get that Bowling Green money. The next cupcake in the Pub Sports Radio Top 25 Cupcake Countdown is a cupcake that I want one right now. Look at it at the screen. Does it not look delicious? It's the hazelnut chocolate cupcake. And I'm going to use it to describe a program that I hopefully want to scream out in joy for all year long. And that is the Hofstra Pride out of Hempstead, New York, with a new coach taking over for an intern that we will not bring his name up because of how treacherous and how disgusting his coaching style was last year. Speedy Claxton. Take a second. Let it sink in. Speedy Claxton, NBA point guard, is going to be leading the Hofstra Pride now. Well, what did he go out and do? He went out on the transfer market and got two guys that are going to fit very well into his program. One is Zach Cooks from NGIT. And if you watch Zach Cooks play in the America East or you watch him in the ASUN in previous years, you know what you're getting. You're getting a solid floor general, a guy that's going to poach steals, a guy who's going to be able to guard on the ball even though he's undersized, and a guy that can make shots when you badly need them to cover a spread or to get a game over or just to win, baby. And I'll tell you, Zach Cooks and Speedy Claxton, that is going to be a great point guard tandem in the CAA. Then, you know what? He went out to Oregon and got Aaron Estrada. Aaron Estrada made a mistake leaving St. Peter's. He went to Oregon, couldn't work his way in, probably got promised a bunch of playing time by Dana Altman, couldn't actually deliver on it. Well, now he's back in a conference that he should be able to succeed in and a scheme that should fit his playing abilities. Well, you got a new coach, and a new coach brings in a new defensive system. We will no longer see that 1-3-1. We will not see a ton of zone. You're going to see man-to-man defense with this Hofstra Pride team, and it must improve the ability of this defense to perform on a game-to-game basis because let's be brutally honest, anybody that wanted to could score on them last year, and you saw the overs. Cash, you saw the ATS favorites go down in flames, and you saw the Hofstra Pride get worked over and the bookies making money off of us. So we don't want to let that repeat, and I don't think Speedy Claxton wants to let that repeat. This is a group that has a lot of guards. They're going to have to play two ball handling guards on the floor at the same time, and now they got some size at the 5 spot. I think that this is a team that is going to play a better style of defense. They're not going to give up as much scoring, so expect overs to be a little harder to come by, but I expect a little better ATS and home conference play, which is going to be key. I think that this is a team that's going to be flying under the radar in a conference that has a ton of parity and a ton of potential front runners in there, possibly up to 5, including Hofstra. So the ways that I'm looking to bet them is I'm looking to bet them in situations that they are a big dog, they're playing a spoiler role, and they're going to be in a couple of those games in the non-conference versus the likes of Duquesne, Iona, Maryland, Richmond. And it may not be pretty numbers or a pretty way to bet, but if you see somewhere in the high 20s, the mid 20s, the low 20s, those are numbers that this Hofstra group with this defense and this offensive scheme are going to be able to stay within. Zach Cooks and Jalen Ray are going to be a dynamite combo. I'm telling you that. So look for spots that Hofstra can win. They have a 3-game home stretch in the non-conference that we can also take advantage of it. Detroit, Princeton, and Bucknell, all games where I expect Hofstra to be less than a 10-point favorite and be able to win all 3 games by 10 or more points. The game that I've chosen to attack for us, Pub Sports Radio's We Be Pubbin' OGs, is a game against Bucknell on December 4th. If we see a line where Hofstra is less than a 14-point favorite and we see a total that is higher than 143.5, lower than 143.5, we will jump on Hofstra and then we will jump on the over. That's the way that I'm looking at this Hofstra team, under the radar, flying with a bunch of parity. And you know what? When there's a conference with a bunch of parity, that means that there's going to be underdog spots. So Hofstra's going to be a team that's going to keep on paying and keep on playing. Let's go Speedy Claxton. Get yourself some Zach Cooks in the lineup. And If you got a hazelnut chocolate cupcake, don't let me know about it because I'll eat it.